There are so many things to do in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Maybe you're coming to visit Fayetteville here very soon. Today we're covering just the tippitiest of all tops of all the cool things you can do in Fayetteville, and I've sprinkled in some of my favorite ones as well. So let's talk about that. Hey everybody, if you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I actually was a real estate broker located in the hot mess, the train wreck, the dumpster fire place known as Chicago, known as Illinois. Ugh, the worst. Anyways, I was looking for the best place to live in America, and I discovered Northwest Arkansas. And I probably looked at a lot of locations you're currently looking at as well to move to. Northwest Arkansas is by far the best place to live in America. By far. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America, call me, text me, let's meet up for coffee, email me, whatever the case is, we can talk about why this place is the best place to live in America, by far, versus anywhere else in America. Also, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is. It's literally a starter pack full of all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. It's a full packet of what's going on in downtown Bentonville, what's going on in Fayetteville, what are the hospitals like, what are the schools like, all the things you need to know about Northwest Arkansas. Boop, 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 boop. A package literally shipped right to your home, right to your home. Also, side note, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking, It is my favorite four-letter F word. Free! So enter information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. All right, so the first thing we need to talk about when it comes to all the cool things to do in Fayetteville, Arkansas, this is probably the biggest draw in Fayetteville specifically, and that is the University of Arkansas. Now, I'm not saying we should go party on campus or anything like that. What I am saying is that there are so many sports teams and so much focus on the sports of Fayetteville, Arkansas, it's almost ridiculous. The fandom for the sports team here, the Razorbacks essentially, is crazy. Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, track, I think that's kind of the core of them that kind of hit the standards hit the high numbers all the time. Now, basketball has been doing very well. The track team, the girls' track team, does fantastic. The football team, well, it does a thing. It brings in a lot of attention, to say the least. So, but regardless of how good or bad they're doing, whether you're coming to Fayetteville, Arkansas, look on the calendar, plan a trip around a sports event here in Fayetteville. The fandom is crazy. It's so fun. The streets light up, especially when football season. It is like obviously in most college towns, so to speak, or I wouldn't consider Fayetteville a college town because it's 100,000 people without the college kids here. But regardless, it's in a city that has a college that has a very high attendance for sporting events. We'll call it that way. The city shuts down. They block off areas, parking. Like they bus in the actual teams themselves and like on actual really nice buses from all different parts of America. And it is an event to say the least. So if you're coming into town, definitely put on the map basketball, track, and definitely the football games. It'll be well worth your time when coming into Fayetteville. And the second thing we need to talk about when it comes to things to do in Fayetteville, Arkansas specifically, and this is more to do with a little bit more outdoor space, and I'm going to cover a wide variety of topics here because of the fact there's so much to do outdoors in Fayetteville specifically. We're going to cover the first three mountains that exist in Fayetteville. We're going to talk about Kessler. Kessler Mountain is basically a massive park with, I think they're up to like 8 baseball fields now, a couple soccer fields, play centers, play parks, and on top of that, the thing that I love Kessler the most, I live behind Kessler actually, is the trail system out there. It's about 20 or 30 miles of trail systems. It's probably better suited for hiking and running versus biking. There is a lot of bikers that go up there, but it's real spicy. I would not go if you're a novice up there, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, Kessler Mountain's great, plenty of miles of trails, etc. to do things. And then on top of that, we have Centennial Mountain, which is across the road from Kessler Mountain. That is more bike friendly. The Cyclocross World Champions were held there in 2022. A bunch of World Cups have been held there for biking. So it truly was built a mountain that was built for biking and cyclocross. Now, when they're not doing their events there, it's really fun to hike and bike and run. It's kind of a mixed bag there when it comes, you can do all three of them. It's more geared towards biking, but there's a couple hiking trails that I really do love over there. Then we jump across on the other side of Fayetteville, we jump over to Mount Sequoia. That is definitely geared for hiking and also running. Biking over there, it is an adventure to say the least. if you are into some real spicy biking. I'm not saying there's huge jumps, but it's like a lot of rockiness, so it's not as fun. So keep that in mind if you're more of a mountain biker. Sequoia is probably not your best bet. Centennial is your better choice. Then let's move over to Lake Fayetteville, another couple 10-15 miles of trail systems. There's a big loop, 5-mile loop around Lake Fayetteville. The Razorback Greenway cuts through there. Super great outdoor space. Then let's jump over to the Razorback Greenway. Then we talk about the 40-mile pathway that starts at Mount Kessler and goes all the way up to Bella Vista. So if you want to stick to paved trails, rent a bike, rent an e-bike, hike it. I probably don't. Can you really hike a paved trail? That's a question for the internets. But anyways, the Razorback Greenway is a paved pathway. You can walk it. I think at some point it becomes walking. You can walk it, you can run it, you can bike it, etc. So it's always fun to actually hit the Razorback Greenway. The university uses it a lot to pass way between things. So regardless, always fun. So many outdoor things to do in Fayetteville, and there's a gamut of more things even after that. Hey, whoa, wait. I have something brand new called Instant Home Updates. So maybe you're looking to move to the area and using things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications? Way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is. It's like Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to in Northwest Arkansas? Let me know with all the information below. I'll make sure you don't miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, side note, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things Northwest Arkansas. What's going on in downtown Bentonville? What's going on in Fayetteville? What's going on in the amphitheater? What's going on in downtown Rogers? What's going on with the farmers market? What new bands are coming here? What new visitors? So many things all the time. All the time. It's really hard to keep on top of what's going on here. Anyways, I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things every single Friday, but something to be aware of, something to caution. You will get a little fear of missing out, little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most informed person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the third thing you definitely want to consider doing in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Now, this is going to be very, very hyper-focused and specific to one business. One of my favorite business is in the world, honestly, but we'll stick to Northwest Arkansas because I don't want to go too crazy, is Arkadia Retrocade. Now, the reason that it's fun and cool and hip is that it's a retrocade full of pinball machines, arcade machines, back from the 80s, 70s in some extent, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, arcade packed into one building. And you know the entrance fee for this thing for all day? $5. Bring the family, bring the relatives, heck, even bring the in-laws if you want to. But regardless, definitely bring the whole family and bring them for a full day of fun at actual Arkadia Retrocade. So always fun. Love the owner. He does great work over there. Try to keep them. It's hard to maintain, honestly, like the upkeep of these things because they're getting a little older and there's more of a niche, definitely more of a niche skill set to fix those things. But regardless, when you're in Fayetteville, definitely check out the Retrocade. It is a great time. It is a lot of fun. And the fourth thing that you definitely need to do when you're coming to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and this is more for the arts folk, so to speak, one of the things that is really fun to do is going around trying to discover and look at all the murals in Fayetteville. One of the unique things that Fayetteville does almost every single year is basically open up to the community, or open, I shouldn't say community, I should say artists out there, and they put on bids for basically like artwork that they want to create in Fayetteville. So basically every year more murals are being created in Fayetteville. They bid them out. They kind of, obviously the whole city does. So basically every year there's more murals being built inside of Fayetteville. Now Fayetteville's pretty stacked when it comes to artwork. So just going around the whole area, whether it's downtown, Dickson Street, South End, North End, whatever the case is, there's murals everywhere in Fayetteville. And it's cool to kind of almost put your own little map together of like, where are the things and what does this mean and all the different stuff like that. So, and a lot of it is accessible by bike. So even if you want to start combining things together, that's just crazy talk. Rent a bike, check out the murals, check out the stuff, grab the food, grab the coffee, grab the hot chocolate, etc., and you'll have a great time in Fayetteville. And the fifth and final thing you definitely want to do in Fayetteville, Arkansas, this is again a long strip, as you'll see here of what I'm talking about. You definitely need to start investigating Dickson Street in Fayetteville. Now, Dickson Street is kind of, I would consider, the hub of a lot of fun in Fayetteville. It's kind of a combo of a college area as well as a combo of like adult living once you move on to college things to do. What I mean by that is that there's Walton Arts Center on the corner of Dickson Street on Dickson Street in downtown Fayetteville, and then there's also Theater Square. Both those are going to be geared towards adult things, going to see Les Mis over in Walton Arts Center, over in Theater Square. Gonna go see the symphony over in Walton Arts Center. So it's easy, you know what I'm saying. And then Dickson Street also holds a lot of bars, a lot of fun stuff. We have the piano bar. We have a lot of food vendors on there as well. And you kind of have like George's Live Majestic, which is a huge facility for bands. We also have on the north side, just north of Dickson Street, a little bit, maybe about a couple minute drive. We're gonna talk about JJ's Live, which holds a lot of bigger bands as well. So again, one of the interesting things with Fayetteville is the fact that 100,000 people live here all year long, and then 30,000 people get added in through part of the year. But Dickson Street is used heavily by the college, as well as heavily by just people that live here all the time. So if you're coming into town, definitely check out Dickson. It is a lot of fun in almost any sort of time frame, whether you want to come for the nightlife scene or even the daytime scene. There's a lot going on in Dickson Street, kind of all the time, honestly. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you are thinking about coming down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itineraries linked below. Maybe you're a venturer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is. There's a 3-day itinerary linked down below for you, so go ahead and download it and use it to get down here. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you a $10 tour so I can kind of show you around the whole area. Plus, you can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you next one.